Hello and welcome everybody to a brand new episode of Bricks and Toys. And in today's episode, Technic. I am very excited because we have three of what I call the entry level of Technic vehicles, and that is the $50 to $65 price range. Literally speaking though, it's now about the $60 to $65 price range, as it seems like Lego is no longer going to be making $50 vehicles like we've gotten in the past. It's now going to be about what this one is today. And the one that I'm with here today is $64.99, so basically $65 here in the US. And what am I looking at here? Well, we are looking at the set number 42213, the 9 and older Ford Bronco SUV with 943 pieces. With the Jeep Wrangler now retired, I guess Lego is like, this is our next off-roader entry-level Technic vehicle build, and it's going to be a Ford Bronco. And I'm kind of excited to get a new entry-level off-roader from Technic. I like the color of it. I like the look of it. I think off-roaders, especially with the boxier SUVs, it just makes sense to make them out of Technic. Now let's go over this box and let's gather what we can assume from this set. So we have the set imposed on what looks to be a rainy off-road surface, probably somewhere off in a desert landscape. Despite the rain, none of the rain seems to be affecting the SUV. It just has everything around it nice and wet, so that's kind of a weird marketing decision for that box art. Kind of obvious to note and see that. But looking at the set on the box, the set, like I've said before, already looks pretty freaking good. We have some lights, looks like we have some cargo holds up at the top. We have some sticker elements making up the front grille. I do notice a lack of a winch with this one. It would have been cool to maybe have gotten a winch like with the Jeep Wrangler, because if you guys have seen my Lego tour videos, I usually display the Jeep Wrangler hanging on a command hook from its tow winch in the front, which is pretty freaking cool because it looks like it's kind of like rock crawling up the wall. So that's unfortunate with this one. We do have some basic black tires, black wheels, and we do have various stickers all throughout the set. Now let's continue to take a look around the box. On the side of the box, we basically have some statistics in a different language, so that way everybody's included. We also have a do not eat it right there on the side. On this side of the box, we have the set imposed with the logos and set number with a side profile right there. Looking at the top of the box, we have another side profile of the build. We have country of origins up there and a one-to-one of one of the wheel elements. And then going to the bottom of the box, we have more logos, recycling information, Lego.com, Lego app information, Legal Eagles barcode, and all of that good stuff. And then, as traditional, on the back of the box, we have the meat and potatoes of the set. We have the set imposed in a more of a showroom fashion, of where it's just a solid color and no rain and no desert. And looking at the back of the vehicle, we can see that maybe we have some interesting different wheel elements for the wheel arches. We do have a fifth wheel on the back, so basically a spare tire. And we can see some finishing around the rear window with some system bricks. Pretty interesting. We do have three pictures down here at the bottom. One shows that if you turn the spare wheel, that it should turn the front wheels, so that's pretty interesting. So we're likely not going to have a knob on the roof like we traditionally do. It's just going to be with that back wheel. Then we have a center picture of the actual Ford Bronco, where it says it's got a twin turbocharged 2.7 liter V6. That is a very small V6 motor, and the fact that it's twin turbocharged, man, how many miles do you think this engine's actually going to get before this eco boost goes eco boom? I mean, turbocharged engines are fun, but how much boost can you shove in such a small engine? And you may be thinking F1 cars do it all the time, but F1 cars only have to last at least a couple of races and not be a consumer product for hundreds of thousands of miles. It also has the GOAT mode stated right here, which means goes over any type of terrain. And with that twin turbocharged 2.7 liter V6, we can expect 330 horsepower. So still not a lot of horsepower for a twin turbocharged V6, considering that my inline 5-cylinder Volvo has a single turbocharger and 80 less horsepower. But I guess 330 is still pretty good. I still would rather have a Coyote in my Bronco than a V6 EcoBoost. And then we go to our last picture down here. We can see that the doors open, the hood opens, and all of that stuff. And on the roof of these actual pictures, you can see that those cargo holes actually look like they're treads to help the tires cling on and climb over things. So now that we've gone over our box, let's open up the box and let's see what we have in terms of this build. So we're going to have 2 pieces of tape, 1 and 2. Let you guys get the first look into the box as tradition goes. Tell me what you guys are seeing. I feel a pretty full box. Okay, there we go. And there's everything. I think we got 1 bag stuck. Yes, we do. And that is everything. So I'm going to guess we have probably 6 bags total to get this 900 some odd piece set built. We have an instruction booklet, and we do have a medium-sized sticker sheet. So let's go all through it. Okay, so we got our bags counted out. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a 7th bag. So we got 7 bags total to make this. Technically, we do have 8 with an unnumbered bag, which contains our 5 tires, and probably an element to either make the roof or the chassis. Going into our sticker sheet, we have about 12 stickers total, but I do see a lot of these are duplicates, especially with those tread things that go onto the roof. It looks like we got some interior stickers. Of course, we got 3 that makes up the front, some side stickers, and some back stickers. Let you guys get a look at that sticker sheet. Not too bad. I like how they're larger because it kind of makes it easier to actually put them onto the vehicle. Looking at our book, we do got our QR code to get our 20 points. And then going into the book, we should see that it goes straight into the build, which it does, bag number 1 on page number 4. And then here at the back of the book, we have 230 building steps and 194 pages total to get this thing built. And I did notice something rather odd with this book. If we go over to the next page, is this a precursor or a misprint? Let me know when you guys see it. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure you guys noticed it as quick as I did. So on this page over here, that's a resemblance of the back of the box, we have the vehicle in its traditional reddish orangish color, which looks fabulous, mind you. But then over here, it's pink. The Ford Bronco is pink. The build is pink. It's like a hot pink color. Now, is this a misprint of the printer? Or is this going to be a recolor that we're going to get down the road, and this is just kind of like an Easter egg? Which one is it? Because this actually looks kind of cool, in my opinion. I'm not a big fan of pink, but a pink Bronco, now that's something else, and that would look really interesting with my collection of bright highlighter colors of Bugattis and Lamborghinis and such. So that does it for our book. So now, guys, I'm going to take about a day. I'm going to get this thing slapped together. I'm going to take my time and enjoy it like I usually do. And for you guys are going to see the review portion of the video right here. Okay, everybody, let's dive in and let's check out this Ford Bronco SUV. And right off the rip, I'm going to say something really freaking nice about it. This is a hell of a value build. Sometimes Lego misses, which is more often than not, but sometimes I feel like they really do a dang good job. Now let's get into it. So we're going to start off with our traditional, pointing out stickers and stuff like that, which is the only thing that we're going to have. Everything else is basically part usage. So on this side of the vehicle, we're going to have stickers up here, and of course 6 stickers combined, making those treads up at the top. I'm not an off-roader, so I'm not really sure what that is, but maybe if you're an off-roader, you can let me know down in the comments below. Maybe it's something if I ever go off-roading, I might need. Who knows? Now, let's take a look at the side. So we do have some system bricks kind of camouflaged in here, making this windowsill and also this back. We'll look at the back later on. We have traditional wheels and tires on this unit, but what I cannot make heads or tails of, is this a new part? I don't think this is a new part. But is this a new part with the way that fender is and how tight and flat it is? Well, whatever it is, I think this is a really nice Technic. It's really flush to the body, and it looks really clean and complete without any gaps or holes. Now going into the doors are pretty much what you would expect with the Technic part here in the middle with the beams and stuff with all the axles holding it tight. And of course, using this piece for a door handle. The rock guards on the bottom are just Technic beams, And then going into the front fender, we have the same fender element as used in the rear, also used in the front. We do have some system bricks mixed in with Technic axles and stuff to make the mirrors. The mirrors do look a little bulky, but I think they look really nice and complete. Now, coming up over here to the top, we have 9 lens elements on this Technic beam for the extra lights. Of course, we got those treads. We also have this part using traditional Technic parts to make this roof type rack. I think it also looks really good with the roof rack off, so you can also remove this and the build does look complete. I like how the windshield comes around using those pipe elements, and I like the way it snaps in and it's nice and strong. Coming on down, we have the cowl piece, which is just system bricks snapped over Technic bricks. Same thing with the top of the hood. I think that looks really nice. The bricks on this are not very shiny. There is a lot of satin to them. Kind of makes it look like a tomato skin in a way. Not sure that picks up on the camera, but you know what? Not bad. My first complaint with this vehicle is a unreasonable one, but I'm just going to point it out. I do understand the use of sticker elements on the front of this vehicle. I am also going to say the box headlights and grille look a lot better on the box than they do in person. This thing kind of looks like, I don't know what it looks like, but it looks kind of rough. So first off, maybe skipping the sticker element. I get that the lines blend into the Bronco on the grille, but maybe skipping the sticker element and just taking the gamble and using a lens would have made it look a lot better. Just, maybe. But with this being 4 stickers in a row, it is kind of, rough because you want to make sure you line all of it up, and I think I did an okay job. I think it looks good, but when you look at it, it just looks, I don't know, guys, it just doesn't look right. So maybe on your own build of this, you can try putting on some clear elements with maybe like a gray dish back, like a traditional headlight would be in a vehicle, and see if that looks any better. But overall, you know what, it does get the job done. We do not have a winch as pointed out before, but we do have that nice rock guard coming down the front using traditional Technic pieces and of course Technic beams and stuff in the back. Now onto this side of the vehicle, and it's the same thing as the other side with the sticker right there. I almost forgot to mention, we do have like a claw element right there to kind of like, I don't know what the heck that's doing. Maybe that's part of the front grille, rock protection, all of that kind of stuff. We did need to take a look under that hood really quick, where we can see our EcoBoost V6 with the twin turbocharged 330 horsepower engine. And of course, when we move it, those pistons do move. There is no gearbox, so you cannot make that not happen. It is there, and it is permanent. Now, let's close our hood and get back on track to the side of the vehicle, which, again, system bricks around the windows, the roof rack, everything blends in. I did forget to mention on the other side, the doors do open up to the interior. And let's go ahead and let's get a somewhat look inside. So we do have a steering wheel. We don't have a center cap on our steering wheel with a Ford logo or anything like that. We can also see these pieces in here to support the structure of the door. And we can kind of see our seats tossed in here really, pushed in towards the middle. We do have a sticker element in the dash, but let's go on the other side and check that out. Back to this side, let you guys in. You guys can get a look at that sticker element on the dash. It's pretty much just a screen and a dashboard, simulation as they would be. Also on the doors, I did forget to mention, there is some system type brick on the top of the door to kind of make a, contour with that cheese slope. Now, moving to the back of the vehicle, we do not have any opening doors or anything like that. Everything is stationary. If you do look through the window, we do have a secondary seat kind of hidden in all the Technic components and stuff. This is a tight build for $65 is what you would expect. We do have actual lenses here in the back for the taillights. We have another sticker element here and one hidden right down there. And if you blink while building it, you will miss the instructions of where it says to put that on, and you will be looking at your paper going, where was that supposed to go at the end of your build? And our final sticker element, the Bronco on the license plate. We have the same tire elements as we do all around the vehicle here in the rear, but this one does do something special, and it does move the front wheels. The steering wheel is not hooked up, just this rear tire, as you can see. Pretty unique. Makes it kind of fun because now you can shove it and drive it. So that's pretty cool. for the kids that are 9 and older, or maybe 34 years old, that are going to play with this car. Now lastly, let's flip it on its lid and let's take a look. This is where you need a sticker on the back that it says, if you can read this, flip me over. But not until I'm done showing you all the Technic components and stuff that takes to build this car. So of course, we did have that center chassis frame that I did mention. We do have one spring hidden out into there, so the front kind of has this weird rocky motion, where in the rear, we do have 2 springs. Like I said, no gearbox, but we do have a differential, as we would expect on all of these cars. Not quite sure what this red little ball is doing, but it's there. It's supposed to be there. Here we can see the various axles running through the vehicle, giving it its, steering function, and of course its engine function to connect the drive wheels to the engine. And just like that, we are done with the review of this vehicle. Now let's go wrap up this video. So if you are still watching this, well, congratulations, you made it to an end of another Bricks and Toys video. I know that sometimes my videos are not like anybody else's, but I do that intentionally because I am here to provide you brass tacks information on a build and not to sit here and blow smoke. I'm also not sponsored by Lego, so if you do enjoy this video, I do ask you to hit the subscribe and the like button, but we'll talk more about that at the end of the video. So getting back to the build, I am very, very happy to be here at the end of this build to share what I am about to share with you guys. I feel like with Lego, sometimes we do not always have good news to share. And lately, with the battle pack that we're coming off of about, 4 days ago at the time of this is being released, that battle pack was rough. I do see you guys are watching the video and dropping your comments down below, just like I asked, so thank you for that. And also, it seems like you guys are having fun doing that, so I also appreciate that and like to see that down in the comments below. But in terms of the battle pack, that was a severe miss by Lego. That was one of the ones that was like, did they just throw a dart at the wall and hopefully nobody would care? I mean, what happened there? But we're not here to talk about the price of the battle pack and how asinine or crazy it is. We're here to talk about this, and why do I keep bringing up that battle pack is because this is a home run. So we go from a fail to a pretty good UCS set now to a home run. If you guys are looking for a Lego Technic experience that is really freaking good, but your wallet is kind of filling Trump's big beautiful bill right now, well, I can tell you this is the one that you're going to want to buy. And the reason that is because when you look at all of these 50 in the past dollar cars are now $60, $65 cars, they are just thrown together with sticker elements to fill in the blanks. They're kind of like an old school Speed Champions, to where it's car-esque, but you know what, stickers kind of make it the car that it should be. And you know what, those cars are not bad. I think I probably have another 2 down here that we're going to build sometime in the next month anyway, because I just like to collect them for the colors. But if you're looking for one of these entry-level Technic cars that are actually, what it is, this is it. This is one that could have been easily upscaled just a hair and sold for $110, $115 easily. But no, they kept it at a smaller scale, kept out the gearbox, made it simple, and they kept it at the $65 price point. And that's why I think that if you're pinching pennies and you're looking for a really good Technic build that doesn't blow the bank like a $500 McLaren P1, well, this is definitely going to give you some satisfaction. I remember looking at the promotionals of this set, and I remember thinking, oh, we're going to get another $120 vehicle, referring to the Skyline that we had earlier this year. And then I looked closer, and I'm like, wait, $65? And because I remember the first glances of this Technic set was like, this is a really thorough build. I think it looks really good. And this is definitely going to be a day one buy. And now that I'm looking at it in person and I spent my day building it, I can tell you guys, it is actually really that good. I am very pleased with this. This is what it looks like when your Lego money goes perfectly. All smiles across the board. So if you guys are looking at this model, or maybe the Ferrari, or the other one that we have out there, which is the Aston Martin, and you can only pick one and you can't buy all 3 like my dumb butt did, well guys, this is going to be the one so far of the three that I think is so far the best. I don't know what it is about Lego making SUVs and off-roaders out of Technic and nailing it better than the supercars. Maybe it's because of the boxy shape. Probably is the boxy shape, but Lego is really good at doing it, and this is just another example. So I do recommend this set. I do think it's an excellent value for the money. Just think about that battle pack. It's $45. You throw in another dub sack, you got $20 more, and you got this. What would you rather build? A bunch of clone troopers with some mediocre builds, or would you rather build a whole ass Bronco? I would rather build the Bronco, for sure. And this is coming from a guy that has far more Star Wars sets than anything else in his collection. One last thing before I let you guys go is I want to demonstrate the suspension here on camera. So there is 2 springs in the rear, 1 spring in the front, and that causes it to be a little dippy. So the front axle is a little wobbly, and it does not feel very firm. The back axle, though, obviously it has 2 springs. So I think that they did this in case you kind of wanted to try to perch it on something, kind of like how you see in the pictures. It is pretty interesting the way that the front shares that 1 spring, and yet the back uses 2. I don't know if that was for like a physical feel of playing with it, or if they couldn't spring the budget for an extra one, if you know what I mean. But you know what, guys? I think I've seen other off-roaders from Technic that does the same thing, and you know what? It's fine. I enjoy it. I like it a lot. And lastly, do be prepared if you are a sensory person that this vehicle is red, and Technic is genuinely a satin kind of semi-gloss finish, and it does look like a skinned tomato once it is done. And if you guys like tomato skin, well, you guys are going to like the color of this. But if you guys don't, well, be prepared. And with that closing statement, that's all I got to say. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the subscribe button to follow along with everything that we do here. As usual, share the video with a friend, hit the thumbs up, the like button, drop your comments down below. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. Usually you guys like it when I do Technic stuff, so I hope you drop comments down below what you guys think about this, especially if you built it and you had the same feeling. I want you guys to share that with me. Up next on the channel, well, we're going to be doing the arcade machine from Lego. Not quite sure what it all is about, but we'll find that out in that video, so I hope you check it out. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all have a good one.